So, lads, I'm going to be giving updates, an update now and an update at the end of the game. But I recorded this video at the end of the second quarter, and you can see the score. They're nearly down 50 right now. It is halfway through the third quarter, and they are nearly down 50. They are down by 46 points halfway through the third after just beating the Fever. This is even worse than I was at the start of this video. And if you guys, like, I turned this game off after the first quarter. I'm kind of glad I did. But this team beat the Fever. But anyway, let's get on to the video. And then at the very end, I will update you guys on what happens at the end of the game. So the Indiana Fever are not very good. They're not very good. And we all kind of know that. But in this video, I'm going to show you guys just how not good this team is. I'm going to show you guys how not good they are. And by how not good, we can see, well, right here. The Indiana Fever lost to the Connecticut Sun. It is halftime, and I turned this game off in the first quarter. The New York Liberty are currently beating the Connecticut Sun by 31 points. There is a minute to go. There is another, there's another minute to go in the quarter. They're down 31. They're down 31. Stewie's played 13. John Quayle's played 14. It is what it is. They're destroying them. Jalen Sherrod has played 5 minutes. Izzy Harrison has played. They have played Izzy Harrison. Izzy Harrison is playing. Is Markeisha Davis injured, or is she just really that bad? I can't believe they used the first round pick on her in 2024. But Jalen Sherrod and Izzy Harrison are playing. Izzy Harrison scored 4 points. For the Connecticut Sun, Tina Charles, okay, she scored. Great, it's now down to 29 points. Tina Charles is doing hers. She's getting hers this season. She's going to have a renaissance season, just chucking on a terrible team. Anissa Morrow's only played 2 minutes. Anissa Morrow's terrible. Anissa Morrow genuinely is terrible. She's only -7. Marina Mabry's -29. And lads, the Indiana Fever lost to this team. The Indiana Fever lost to a Connecticut Sun team who, I'm not joking when I say this, if you look at the Connecticut Sun, if you just look at this team and how many points they've scored, it's not even funny how bad this team has been offensively. Not even offensively, in general. I don't even know why I said offensively. In preseason, they lost to the Storm. They lost a preseason game by 20, where they played their players. They lost by 20 in preseason. Then they beat the Liberty, and the Liberty again, no Stewie. The Liberty did not care about preseason. If you look at the preseason, the Liberty looked like the worst team in WNBA. The Liberty literally lost to the Sky by 40 last year. They lost to the Sky by 40. It is just a bad all around situation for the Sun, it was bad for the Liberty, but they're killing it now. It's a bad overall situation for the Sun. They had 85 points in their first game against the Mystics, and that is the home opener. There's hype. There's all of this. There was everything there. So if you take out the Mystics game, at the start of the year, because anything can happen game 1 on the year. We all know that. Anything can happen game 1 on the year. So if you take out that game, they had 62 points against the Aces. 62 against the Aces. 62. They had 70 against the Minnesota Lynx. And by the way, as far as I'm aware, they had 68 points with 6 minutes to go. They were up 68-53. And they lost the game. And by the way, in this game against the Mystics, it was literally the first half. They had 30 in the first quarter, didn't they? No, sorry, they had 46 in the first half, and then they had 19 and 20. They gave up 30 in the fourth quarter. And this was the game 1 of the year. They're on track for 56 points today. They are currently down by 32 points at halftime. They're down 60-28 at halftime. They had 28 if I'm not mistaken, after a minute of the second quarter against the Fever. After like a minute, they had 28. They gave up 85 points. And the only team that have conceded, that like the only team that they've scored more against was the Wings. And the Wings don't play defense. And the Wings also dropped 109 points. The Wings scored 109 points in this game. And Tina Charles went nuclear. Went absolutely nuclear. It's just not good enough. And I don't think people understand when the Fever, why I was losing it. By the way, I was losing it when the Fever were beating the Sun. The Fever were beating the Sun at a time in the second quarter. And like, it's why I lost it. I lost it at halftime. It was only a 4-point game. And everyone was like, why are you getting so worked up? It's halftime. It's the first half. And I'm like, you don't realize, people didn't realize just how bad this Connecticut Sun team are. This is how bad this Connecticut Sun team are. They are down. They were down 30 points like 2 minutes into the quarter. Or they were down 20-something points. They're down 32 points at halftime. Lads, the Indiana Fever, if I'm not mistaken, did they even have 60 through 3 quarters against this team? Did they even have 60 through 3? The Indiana Fever had 59 points through 3 quarters. And by the way, if I'm not mistaken, they were down 64-59, were they? Or say 74-59. They were down 74-59 with about, I'm just going to see how long it took the Fever to score 60 points against this team. So the Fever with 7:33 to go in the fourth broke 61. The Liberty have done that at halftime while playing their bench. While playing their bench a good chunk of minutes because they've just, like, nobody on this Liberty team is going to play over 25 minutes today. They're playing their bench, and it took the Fever till 7:33 in the fourth quarter. I didn't realize there was 8 minutes to go when they went 74-59 up. And then obviously the Fever went on a 16-hour run. When they just said, you know what, screw it. Screw it, we don't care. We don't care anymore. And I got to say, fair play to Sanaya Rivers. Fair play to Sanaya Rivers. Sanaya Rivers was a huge reason they won that game. But, like, the Indiana Fever have been absolutely pathetic. Like, and there is no excuse to lose to the Connecticut Sun. Like, this team is like an absolute like calamity. There's nothing about this team, this this Connecticut Sun team, that is good. The Indiana Fever have Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark and Lexi Hull. And they have a little bit of experience, and I'm not going to talk negative about Dwana Bonner. I don't think player for player the Indiana Fever are bad. But everybody, I'm going to talk about this in another video, everybody is using all advanced stats and be like, look at the Fever's ranking. If you take out the Chicago Sky game, the Indiana Fever are like 8th in offense and like 10th in defense. It's literally, the reason they are top on defense is because their defensive rating was so high against Chicago Sky. That's literally it. It still is the reason. It brings them from like first to nearly bottom. Like, but yeah, it's not been a good season for the Indiana Fever, and the Connecticut Sun getting blitzed by the Liberty, including their freaking bench. At least, please tell me, at least Izzy Harrison's not a plus on plus minus. Nope. At least their bench, they're competitive when they run a bench 5, but like, they're getting beaten worse than the Sky got beaten by this team. Lads, the game ended by 50, and the New York Liberty played their bench for the fourth quarter and only scored 10 points. I'm not joking when I say this. They were up by nearly 70 points going into the fourth quarter, and the Fever lost to this team.